Cool, yeah, and we're live.
1 minute late. That's got to be a PB, isn't it?
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Live at 5. It's quite an early show for us today.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had the day off, so we thought we might as well just crack on and get it done.
All right for sun.
How's it going, man?
Yeah, you been basking in the sun, or you been hiding away?
Bit of both. I went out for a bit this morning and then slept this afternoon, like absolutely roasting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I find this is like the hottest time of the day. Like,
yeah, this time.
Once it gets like 3 o'clock, it seems to really heat up.
Yeah, man. Yeah. All right. Hello to everyone joining. Let us know in the comments if you're watching. It's my second YouTube appearance in 2 days because I was on the Leicester Beyond the 90.
Yeah, I watched a bit of that last night on the way in from pool.
Yeah, it was good, man. Yeah, it was good. It was my first time on there in ages. But yeah, back to the weekly grind that is fantasy.
I don't know what that guy was saying, thinking that he's whoever was in the bottom right. I think he's quite new. Seemed to think that you've got a chance against us tomorrow.
Just the delusional positivity of a Leicester fan. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too hopeful.
I shouldn't get too cocky because anything can happen. But yeah, we got to be strong favourites for that.
Cool. We got Ryan here. Yes, Ryan.
Right.
Pretty sure we got Matt and Reedy watching as well. Yes, boys.
Boys.
And hopefully we'll get a few join in as we go on. Might be slightly. I doubt we'll go quite the full hour today, but we'll fit in as much as we can. So let's just crack on.
Do you want me to share? Oh, you got it.
I've got mine. Yeah, I got mine up for now. So let's have a look at how we did then, points wise. So yeah, it wasn't the best start for me, to be fair. 60 points, not a disaster. Not
better than average.
Yeah, better than average. We got David here. Hi, David. I don't know if you're in the league, and I didn't leave the link in the description today, but I will. I'll stick it on my Twitter page. So if you want to come and have a look and join the league, then,
I think he is in the. I think he is in the league.
Is it? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
right, we'll have a look at the league in a second. We'll see. We'll see how everyone got on.
Liverpool fan he is.
Nice. Matt with his standard hi guys intro line. Yes, Matt, good to have you here. Matt saying he's playing casually this season. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Like, you're one of our regular listeners, Matt, so we can't have you playing casually, to be honest. We need you.
I don't want to hear any of these, like the people who've got like less than 60 points in the first week being like, "Oh, I'm giving up," or any of this rubbish.
No, if you did, then just play your wild card and just have done with it. You know, like, there's no need to. I mean, yeah, I was pretty annoyed with my first week start. We'll get into that right now. To be fair, I think 60 points is not a disaster. It's certainly not as good as it could have been. Sorry, let me zoom in a bit here because I realise that it's a bit on the small side for those watching, especially on mobile. Okay, cool. So yeah, I realized. Yeah, I think I was saved a bit by my defense. Walker ended up being a decent shout, getting him in at 5 mil.
Yeah.
Trippier and James. I think Trippier got 1 bonus point and James got 2. Obviously Chilwell won the pen, so he got an assist, but he also got taken off earlier. And I think that with that Cucurella competition, that's going to be a regular theme this season. So
yeah. James seems to have that right side locked down.
Yeah. Didn't double up on Liverpool, which I know some people did, but Trent, yeah, I mean, Liverpool with a slow start with that 2-2 draw.
Yeah, Fulham played really well in that game.
Yeah, man. Mitrovic, who would have known that he would have been such a good shout? If anyone had him, then fair play to you.
Yeah, Matt obviously didn't stick with him. He's probably a bit gutted because he's his boy. Yeah. But I'm guessing he'll be in there now.
Yeah, Salah captain was the obvious one. I'm still surprised that they gave Salah that assist. I know they do give Jibby assists in fantasy, but that is like, if you cross the ball in and then the defender hits it onto the striker, that is not an assist in any way. Like,
it's not.
And like, even though I had him captain, obviously most people did, but I think it's a bit of a joke, man. And like,
I don't agree with the ones where you shoot and the keeper saves it and they put it in anyway, but like that's bad enough. But then at least we're all used to that. But yeah, like you said, that one was just, it was one of those where they gave it and I just thought, I'll get taken off by the time the bonus points are added. But it just never did. So yeah,
I wonder if it's just because it was Salah and because it was just they just didn't want it kicking off so hard first game. Because I mean, there's no way, there is absolutely no way you should have got that assist. But there you go. Madsen did ship, not doing any transfers. I just done one. I've resisted any early wild card or anything like that. Just Haaland. It had to be Haaland, and I mean that sort of. The Sunday killed me again because Leicester 2-0 up, throwing it away.
I know Wardy was looking so good for a clean sheet.
It was looking good for that Ward clean sheet, and obviously throwing that away, that was killer. And then Haaland scoring 2, fuck's sake, and also Spurs scoring 4, and out of Kane and Son, we got 1 assist from 4 goals. I can't quite believe that.
Kulusevski, mate.
Kulusevski. Kulusevski, fair play. I mean, I had him in previous drafts, but it wasn't for me. And I'll just go through it now before we move on to your team and to the league. Where I think again 60 points, slightly above average. It's not a disaster by any means. Could have been a lot better, but it was the killer for me was the 50-50 decisions. And I know that during the summer there's a lot of I had him in because obviously you've had about 40 different players in a different so I don't want to go down that route and say I had him.
I think there's a butt coming,
but there is a butt coming because the but is that it was literally the 50-50 decisions in my team, and if I just go through them because they're the same at the same price point. So one was Walker and Zinchenko. So these were all the ones that probably were the ones that it all boiled down to at the end. Walker, Zinchenko, okay. Walker got the clean sheet and Walker's got the better fixtures now, probably. So it was a bit of a longer term thing. So it wasn't a disaster in the end. But how many points does Zinchenko get? 13? 12 with an assist and bonus, clean sheet and bonus. So Zinchenko over Walker, but that wasn't even the worst one. That I can take that. But then we got Bruno Guimaraes over Martinelli. I think I need to just take the blame for that. I think that was one position where I thought I won't go with the crowd. I'll go with what I'm thinking, and I like that Nottingham Forest at home fixture.
Yeah,
so I stuck with it, and then obviously Martinelli getting the goal and Guimaraes getting nothing. So and Martinelli ended up in a load of teams in that last week with the scouts were all over him, and the Smith Rowe injury. So. Yeah, that was a bit of a killer. Leon Bailly at 5 mil. The only other 5 mil option was Dewsbury Hall, and at the very start, before it turned out that Bailly, was having a great preseason and ended up becoming, a much more secure option. But Dewsbury Hall, obviously, scoring a long ranger, posted in. I don't know if he got bonus at the end. I suspect he must have. Probably. Oh, actually, I don't know because he got taken off quite early in that game.
Still, if a 5 mil does anything, isn't it? It's good.
Yeah, still. So another bit of a killer there, and then the ultimate was Kane Haaland, and I think
I think it was kind of the right call because on paper, Tottenham home Southampton is a better fixture than. And he's proven he's scored loads of goals against Southampton before. He has got that thing, hasn't he, where he doesn't score in August.
Exactly, But, he does have that. And I think just heart over head, if I hadn't thought about it, and if I just put a team together without thinking about fixtures or anything like that, for some reason I convinced myself that West Ham was going to be a really tricky game for Man City. But what I really need to get that out of my mind, and just with Man City and with Liverpool to an extent, it doesn't matter who they're playing. It really fuck it. It doesn't just ignore the fixtures because
when you've got 80% of the ball, there's a good chance they're going to do something with it.
Exactly. So Haaland ended up with 12 points or something like that. So I think if you add all of those together, I don't know, probably 30 odd points, probably something like that, 20 to 30 points easily. I missed out on, so. Yeah, a bit cut, but never mind. Should we have a look at your team? You've obviously had a better start than me.
Yeah. you want to carry on sharing, or do you want me to share mine? Or?
Oh yeah, I might as well actually. Yeah, I might as well. So obviously you've won our first head-to-head. I lost all 3 of my head-to-heads. My one with Purnell and in the Foxes and Fantasy Head-to-Head League as well. Disappointing start, but yeah, for you 72. So pretty decent start, starting off from where you left off last season almost.
Yeah, happy with that. Obviously, Jesus didn't do anything, but it didn't matter because 75% of teams had him, so that didn't really matter. I was pretty confident on the clean sheet. If I'm being like a little bit annoyed, would be that I could have saved 0.5 and had Saliba in over Gabriel, but obviously we didn't know for sure, so I just went with the safe option. He got me a bonus point anyway, so that worked out.
Obviously, getting rave reviews, he did look class, and I think especially that partnership with Gabriel looks solid.
Yeah, I think he's one of the most transferred in, and yeah, we do look solid at the back nowadays, which I haven't been able to say for a few seasons. So I'm sure that he's going to be quite highly selected this week, Saliba, with our fixtures coming up. But yeah, Gabriel did the business. Same as you, James did the business with, what was it, a clean sheet, or did you get an assist and bonus? I can't remember.
Clean sheet and 2 bonus and a booking as well, even though you got
the booking, yeah.
You got 2 bonus, yeah.
Obviously, they've got Tottenham this week, so yeah, not ideal. Went with Robertson over Trent just for the money again. Didn't matter one bit because they conceded.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, it was a Cancelo or Walker. I just played it safe with Cancelo. But yeah, Walker did turn out to be a bargain at 2 mil cheaper. So
yeah, Cancelo got a bonus though, didn't he? I think.
Yeah, he got a bonus. Yeah.
Pretty unlucky with Luis Diaz because man, he could have had at least 2.
Yeah, I was watching reviews and it's like him and Firmino have got the same haircut nowadays, got like little blonde like tint. We kept being like, "Come on, Louis D, and then yeah, you realise it was Bobby or vice versa. So yeah,
he had the bar. He had that one ruled out.
Yeah.
In the top corner, there was that one that flashed across goal that he nearly got into.
Yeah.
So yeah, it could have been a lot worse for me actually if he had because he was in quite a few teams, so I got a bit lucky there at least.
Yeah.
He still looks pretty promising, I think.
He does. I mean, I think his time will come. It is just a matter of time with him. I think once he scores like a couple in a row, it'll go on a big streak. But at the moment, it's just, yeah, he can't quite find the back of the net. But yeah, I'm still confident with him. Kulusevski obviously worked out prime because a lot of people had Son or Kane or both. I just thought at 8 mil, you look at him last season, he got 5 goals, 9 assists in like half a season, less than half a season. He's continued in that form. He looks nailed on that right-hand side. Obviously, Richarlison was suspended last week, so he'll be back. I'm pretty sure Conte will go the same front 3, but we'll find out. I'm sure if they're in trouble, obviously Richarlison will come on. It's just interesting to see who will. It probably will be Kulusevski, but yeah, we'll see.
I actually didn't get around to watching Match of the Day, but from what I saw from the text, Son had a few chances, or at least a couple of chances where he could have scored.
Yeah,
so still, it's one of them. I think the 4 mil saving it's extremely tempting. It's a lot. So I think moving forward, I've not done it yet, but I think moving forwards is probably the way to go. Is to go for the Kulusevski option and then to put the money elsewhere. Maybe, obviously you've got De Bruyne. De Bruyne did get that assist for Haaland.
Lovely assist, yeah. But obviously it was, in hindsight, it's kind of the wrong decision. They're both similar price. So I stuck with my boy. Just the way it goes. But yeah, Bailey unfortunately didn't work out. And then if I go on to the ones that I've had in my sort of drafts all the way through, obviously I had bigging up Sessegnon like every week coming into this, and then pussied out at the last minute and took him out. Obviously he was right in the thick of it the whole game. Like he scored, he could have been sent off. He had a goal disallowed. They did concede, but and he did go off about 70 odd minutes for Perisic. So it probably would have only been for 1 week anyway. I would have had Sessegnon in, so I'm not too disappointed on that. And then the other one was I was going to have Josh Da Silva instead of Bailey, who obviously scored against you boys. Started and scored. So
no, he didn't start. He came on.
He came on.
Yeah, he came on.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, yeah.
Yeah. In fact, just on that, so we got beyond the 90 here. Big up Neil. So it's lessons learned. That's obviously the name of the pod, is talk about FPL or LCFC. So I think we've been through LCFC yesterday, so I won't go into too much detail. But yeah, I mean, that game we were 2-0 up cruising, but Brentford made 5 subs. De Silva was one of them. And the game changed from that point. We only made 1 sub, but there's a 5-sub rule. It was boiling hot day. And for some reason, Rodgers only made 1 sub. And then at the end, he said the team looked a bit fatigued. And it's like, mate, what the fuck you on about? Like,
I saw you boys talking about that, like on the pod last night, like Neil and Ant saying they're going down to the Emirates with 35 degrees heat tomorrow, and it could be long ball football. So
yeah, I mean, let's see if Brendan. I suspect he won't make that mistake again. Because how can you only make 1 sub when you've got 5 available?
And Greg was saying that when they scored to make it 2-1, you took off Dewsbury Hall and put Daka on.
Yeah, so even the 1 sub he made didn't really make any sense. Like, he ties himself in knots sometimes with his subs. His game management is atrocious. But yeah, we'll leave it at that. He's also saying thoughts on Nunes. I've noticed, we'll go through the price changes in a minute, but Nunes one of the few people who's gone up in price.
Yeah, he's one of those. Every time I've watched him, he doesn't look that great. Like, he's a bit like cumbersome. Ball sort of flies off of him, but he also just seems to attract the ball. Like, and when it does, it's like he can make things happen. Whether it's a bit like, I don't know. Yeah, he doesn't look
a bit fortuitous or not, but yeah,
a bit fortuitous. But
he gets himself right in the mix.
Exactly.
And he gives Liverpool that option of being a bit more direct. I think at 9 mil or 9.1 now, I think you've got to expect he's going to start this week, and it could become that him and Haaland's the one. But I still think Jesus, being so secure of his place in the team week in, week out is it's hard to overlook that. But Nunes, I expect to see him in many more teams this week, and could be costly not having him, to be honest. But my only concern with Nunes is when Jota comes back.
Exactly.
What's going to happen there? Like, there's still a lot of risk of rotation, I think.
Yeah.
Neil's also saying at 8 mil, who would you have out of Saka, Maddison, or Mount?
Considering the fixtures, I would say, well, a lot of Chelsea fans were saying that Mount wasn't that great against Everton, and I'm still not that sure about Chelsea. So Saka, I would probably say, just because fixtures, he's on corners, and as we saw last week, he's on penalties. Quite surprisingly, I thought Jesus. That is one thing that annoyed me, because I've been banking on Jesus taking pens. So, but then again, Maddison's on all set pieces other than pens. So
yeah, that's the
Maddison, I'd probably say.
Obviously, Haaland on pens straight away from Man City wasn't necessarily expecting that. So that's that's big for them. Maddison did get an assist, so starting off where he left off last season, I think he is still a good shout at 8 mil, but obviously Leicester, a couple of tough fixtures coming up, and so maybe hold off on that. Rice and Saka, I think you can't.
He's nailed on that right side, isn't he? He's only got pathway competition, so.
So I think Arsenal, you got your starting 11's improved a lot. I know you got a couple of players still out, but you don't have the biggest squad in the world, do you?
No, when I was looking at the bench against Palace, I was like, ooh, doesn't actually look that great. But yeah, we were missing Tomiyasu and Fabio Vieira, who we still haven't seen. So I think he's been in full training this week, so he'll be involved against Leicester, probably from the bench.
Yeah, David John saying Kulusevski surely for 8 mil, and I think he's right. I think at that 8
mil
price, that's the one. That is the one. And I've still got Son at the minute, but I think that I'll be switching them over pretty soon.
He's gone up, hasn't he? He's 8.1 now.
He's 8.1. Yeah. So as I say, we'll look at the price changes in a minute. But yeah, 8.1. Really did show me that website that I've never used before.
He sent that to me yesterday as well.
It basically shows you which players are going to go up in price, and you can sort of time it to try and beat it.
Yeah, the formula is something to do with it's like points scored divided by transfers in times 100 gives you the percentage. So if, say for example, Haaland scores a hat trick this weekend and he's already on like 80-90% and hasn't quite gone up, he's going to go up like 0.2, 0.3 in a week. So
Haaland, I made that change, came for Haaland before Man City even played, which is obviously risky because if he gets injured or whatever, then you're fucked. But I think they were the first price change. Kane went down. Everyone Kane went down and Haaland went up. So I'm glad I did that when I did.
Should we have a look at the head-to-head and the pod league?
Yeah, let's have a look at the pod league first. As we got more people in that, so let's have a quick look. Couple of good scores, a few good scores in here, man. We got 3 people hitting 80 plus with Sam Hugh, Alex, and Sean. Alex, regular contributor to the BT90 podcast. Sam from my Swansea league, and Sean is from my 30 team. Let's have a look at Sam being the highest scorer of 85. So yeah, I mean,
Edison in
goal. You got Zinchenko there, Martinelli, Salah, Haaland. So yeah, a lot of high scorers. Even though you got a few blanks in there.
Yeah, so that is effectively what you would have had, isn't it, with the Zinchenko Martinelli swap up. You would have had 8 pretty much. Oh, and Haaland, yeah. So,
yeah, those 3, man. That's like 7, 6, about 20 points. So yeah, I could have hit like 80 odd if I had done that. But fair play, 85. The thing is, obviously, 1 week, you're not far behind. I'm 60. It shows though it's a strong league, man, because there's a lot of decent scores here. Quite a few in the 70s. Billy obviously had a good season last season, starting pretty strong with 78.
Yeah.
Edders, who struggled last season, but I think got off to a bad start. So I think he was pretty happy with his 73 to start with as well. Use for 68. Page 66. I think Dom. So obviously, we can't go through too many of the teams, but
his was one of the teams that was like a bit different to everyone else's, wasn't they? He went for the Newcastle triple, which
unlucky.
Botman came on for like 1 minute.
Is it? Yeah, he was unlucky, man. Because if Botman had started, he would have been onto a little winner there with that Newcastle front 3. The Villa double up though. I'll expect he'll be changing that this week because they're not. Well, they didn't look good today. It was a bad result for them.
Yeah.
He did go for Nunes though, and getting that 9, even though Nunes, coming off the bench, pretty good. Let's have a look at Neil's team with Neil. So Neil's beat me by 1 point. Fair play. Neil, obviously, another one. I hope you're a bit more on it this season, Neil. Because obviously, not an avid player last season, but looks like you're more on it now. 61, even with only 5 points from your back 5.
Yeah, I was just thinking how's he managed that, but yeah, fair play.
Right. Basically, entirely come from Salah captain, Kulusevski, and Haaland. I mean, it's pretty embarrassing. That's beat me with essentially 3 players.
But that is the name of the game, though. I think with fantasy, it is just relying on your best 3 or 4 and picking a good captain. Everyone else just sort of is fixture dependent, or picking them at the right time.
Yeah, I think a bit unlucky with Cucurella obviously not starting, and I think he must have come on and got booked, I guess. Fofana, I mean, I don't know, Neil. I'd maybe look to change that up, just because we've got Arsenal away, Chelsea away.
Who's his Leicester first on the bench? I've seen he's got a Leicester first on the bench. It's not Dewsbury Hall, is it?
Daka, Dewsbury Hall. Mate, get Dewsbury Hall
as well.
Get Dewsbury Hall in that starting lineup, I would. If out of all the Leicester players you've got in that team, I'd definitely go for Dewsbury Hall. So he ended up with 10 points. So he must have got. Did he get a free bonus? Yeah, free bonus, and he got taken off after 72 minutes. Fair play to him, man. I'm surprised he hasn't gone up in price at 5 mil yet. But yeah, fair play to him. And I think that's the thing. Leicester fans know that he's a bargain at that price because he's a key player for us now. Right, with Matt saying best not to look at his team, so let's definitely have a look at his team. Matt. Cal Reese did his team at the very end, so not a committed player, and it shows. It shows that 44. But yeah, Matt, what happened? Let's have a look. It's
just the wrong captain choice, and United.
That's the thing. I think Greg suffered from it as well. Anyone who took that risk of not going for Salah, unfortunately, it didn't pay off. it didn't pay off, and it's a bit costly. So I mean, Rashford as well. Rashford started up front, so in theory,
Yeah,
starting up front at home to Brighton, it could have, it could have been a good shout. I was a bit worried when I saw that starting lineup.
I watched it with Matt, and I don't know if you saw any of it, but yeah, Brighton were the better team. I'm sure Matt will agree. And yeah, Rashford did have chances and missed them. So
I think Greg
he
as
was in
well.
the right place there, wasn't he, Matt? That's what it all comes down to.
Yeah, Foden just a free as well. A bit unlucky there. Yeah, Leon Bailly versus Dewsbury, that is absolutely savage. I think Greg as well went for Sancho. So I think the advice would be there: just get any United players out of your team ASAP. I mean, it's not looking too good.
Unless they sign Arnautovic, then he's straight in triple captain, isn't it?
Yeah. Although it sounds like they dropped out of that one, which
yeah,
bit of a shame there. Right, I know that Rye's watching. Rye's asked if we've purchased the prize yet. Not yet, mate, but I'll get that trophy on. I'll get that trophy ordered soon, and maybe have it in the background here so that it's on display every week. Rye, yeah, obviously he's got that Salah captain. He had Saka with a 6. Matty Cash, Kashowski,
yeah.
I don't know about that. He's not even a 5 mil. I think there's probably better options. Now that West Ham have got that Man City fixture out of the way, I think Cresswell could be the one there potentially. I think they've got some decent fixtures coming up now. So and I think West Ham players could be sort of differentials at this point because nobody wanted to have any of their players playing against Man City first game. We got Reedy in the comments as well, all over it. It's handy. This was in reference to the price changes.
Yeah.
And Haaland will go up again tonight.
He's the oracle when it comes to price rises.
Played your wild card as well, innit, Reed? I think Reedy and Greg both played that wild card.
Yeah, I think Reed's had quite an influence on. I had a little look at Greg's team last night, and straight away it was just screaming Reedy's name.
Is it? I think it's not a bad shout though. With that extra wild card, I think
Yeah,
it's not a bad shout.
To be honest, I was doing mine, and I fell asleep with my phone in my hand, and then I woke up at like 3 a.m, and the prices had changed. So I haven't actually put Haaland in, which we'll come on to.
Yes, yeah. I too haven't put him in. Big, potentially missing out on 0.2 price rise there.
Yeah.
Greg. So yeah, to be honest, if Greg had just captained Salah, he would have been all right. He's been a bit unlucky there. I mean, he did it. It's the risk of not going with the crowd to start with, innit? But
yeah.
Did Son from what he missed a very good chance? Did he? I
can't remember now. I don't think there was any. I think there was maybe one where he should have hit the target, but.
And I think it was maybe from a Kane assist as well, so it was a bit dry there. But yeah, Sancho didn't work out.
I just think Tottenham just don't dominate games the way that City and Liverpool do. So I would probably still rather have a City or Liverpool premium over a Tottenham one. Like they are like lethal on the break, but I think teams are sort of wised up to it a bit, and they can give them a bit of a run for their money. But then at the same time, you could score a hat trick at any point. It's just catching him at the right time.
Yeah, you weren't nearly onto a winner without setting your own shout, man. Fucking hell, so selected by so few, and what a start he had. Didn't he have one? Yeah, he scored one and had one disallowed. I think.
One disallowed. Then he had a yellow, which could have been a red.
Really?
Yeah. But yeah,
also the right back played well as well, didn't he? I always forget.
Chicken Royale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had quite a good score as well. So
maybe really had Doherty, but that was one of those ones you just didn't know he was going to play as well.
Yeah, and that Royale, he struggled a bit in his first, to adapt in his first year, and maybe this year he's going to be, one to look out for a bit more.
Have a look at the head-to-head.
Yeah. Okay, let's have a look at head-to-head. Yeah, we're running out of time here. All right, cool. So the head-to-head. And apologies to anyone who didn't make it into this league. We will be relegated in the bottom three. So hopefully, unless it's me, I can't. Surely not. Like, I don't know. Well, hopefully it won't come down to that point.
We'll have to replace you if you do.
We should maybe like pre-record like the official like someone reading out the scores officially.
Or like the guy used to do on like Football Focus or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I suppose let's just go through them quickly one by one. So Dom beating Pernell 65 a close game there. Yeah, so Perns was a bit disappointed with that start, I think, because pretty close. Frankham, pretty dominant win there, 32, man. Justin Hell, what's happened there?
Yeah, I don't know. He won our money league 2 seasons ago. I think he had a couple United. Oh, you got Dallo. Kane captain.
Captain, yeah. I mean, Kane captain, that's a killer. Ward, yeah. I mean, Dallo is a cheap option if he's going to be starting, but shame United are shit, basically.
Yeah.
When I saw the fixtures come up, I saw you against Avani. I was like, that's a big.
Yeah, that was a big 3 points for me.
Yeah, so that was a big 3 points in a big start. Reedy just losing against Thomas there by 1 point. Must have been the closest match of the week. So good start for Thomas there. Peps, Greg, when I saw Peps's team, I saw that he had like 2. I thought he was a bit mad because he had 2 Palace players against Arsenal, and obviously that was the first. So he had 4 matches on a Friday.
Yeah.
And he only really got anything out of Martinelli. So I was like, Greg, you should be onto a winner here. Even on Nico Williams was 0. And it's just that captain, man. Greg got, it's unfortunate. That captain choice was really costly. I think he probably would have won that game if it wasn't for that. So yeah, unfortunate. I don't know who is this average now. I don't know. It's I'm gonna have to try and figure out who that is. If there's anyone who watches the show, let us know because we definitely didn't have someone called that when the league was created. So I don't know what's happened there. But average with an average start as well, losing to Billy. I might have even cancelled his team, whoever that is.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened there. Yeah, it could be.
What have I done here? Sorry, I don't know what's happened there. I don't know what's happened there. We'll see. Hopefully they haven't dropped out because we had the full 20 team. So we don't want to see that. But Billy with a win there. Smebby struggled all last year and a bad start this year. Is it? Reedy saying, is this not a filler? Average score was 57.
So we thought we had 20.
Yeah, I know that means that someone must have dropped out or cancelled their team or something.
Yeah.
In which case, I mean, it is what it is. You're basically, if you come up against him, you're just gonna have to try and beat the average score for that week.
Imagine if average ends up winning it all.
But it shouldn't have been to make. Yeah, and Reedy and Ryan said, is it just to make up the numbers? I'm sure we got to 20. So I don't know. I'll try and figure out what's happened there, whether someone's dropped out or whatever. But never mind. We got Smebby, bad start after a bad season last season. Kev Martin 72. I thought Kev might struggle a bit because I saw that he had he doubled up on Liverpool in defence. So only 1 from Robertson and Trent. That's a lot of money to spend.
Yeah. Again, it's just Haaland, Salah, and Martinelli who've done the job. Well, the 2 City defenders as well obviously helps. So.
Doubling on City does help, and Haaland, man, big differential this week in the end. Obviously, I lost to Edders when I saw that fixture. I thought that was a big start, and unfortunate to lose. And Use with a big win, in a battle with Bath against Matt. Really setting the average score on the team page. I did know that. I just didn't realize that we had that we only had 19 players in the league.
Fixtures, yeah. Zoom in a little bit.
Yeah, so fixtures is me against Rye. Come on then, Rye. Come on,
who have I got? Greg against Reedy.
Greg against Reedy. The two battle of the wild cards. Two wildcard teams up against each other.
Me and Justin. Justin's going to need to raise his game.
See, now we're saying Johnny is just up against no one, so I guess he'll end up
playing average, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that'll be against average.
Yeah.
Frankham, Dom, Josh Thomas, Pernell Hughes and Matt Edder. So yeah, some big fixtures coming up. In that I need to get a win on the board. Anyone, if you lost your first week, you want to get a win on the board ASAP.
Yeah.
All right.
Should we have a look at our teams for this week then?
Yeah, let's have a quick look. Oh, well, I don't need to spend much on my team, to be honest, because I've only made that one transfer. So Haaland in for Kane. Like I said, I resisted. I was tempted to take the -4 to get in Martinelli.
Yeah.
Bruno. But decided not to.
What's your plan with Ward? Because obviously he's a bit dodgy this week, and the fixtures don't get too much easier. Are you just going to stick with it for now, or have you got a plan to get him out eventually?
We got Saints at home next game. Can I just say we got 8 live listeners, so big up. So close to 10, man. We'll get there. We'll get there in the next few weeks, I'm sure. Ward. I think we've got Southampton at home next game, so I think I'll stick with him for that. And then, and then it was at Chelsea away, so maybe after next week I might look to move him out. Might even, that wild card is still a possibility. If it goes tits up again this week, then you might see me play that sooner rather than later. To be honest. So I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see. But hopefully I don't regret not taking that -4.
Are you actually captaining Salah, or are you just not changed your captain yet?
It's out of him and Haaland. I've been thinking Haaland, to be fair.
I'm sure he's going to be the most captain this week. I'm wondering if people are going to be triple captain as well. But can you play your triple captain and wild card in the same week? I don't know if you can do that.
That's a good question. I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think you can. But yeah, I'll leave it for now. So I'll leave people guessing. But I think it could well be Haaland. Not going to lie. Pereira looked decent.
He did.
Also,
quite a few 4.5s and 5s looked all right. So I think there's going to be some good options to mix those up over the coming weeks. But you're going to start Bailey against Everton and give him another chance, yeah?
Yeah, I'll give Bailey another chance. I think Newcastle have a tricky game the game after, so I might actually start Pereira the following week, potentially over Bruno, but I'll give Bailey another chance. At home to Everton, it's a good opportunity for him to do something.
Yeah.
Paj is here, so yes, Paj.
Go, Paj.
Good to have you, man. So that's about it for my team, really. Not much else to say. Just fingers crossed for a better week. I know that I've got Son away to Chelsea, but Son's one of them where he actually, I've said it before, but away from home against the big teams is sort of when he can come into play because he's Spurs' main outlet and on the counter in those sorts of games. So hoping he can still provide something in that. Cool. I see you got your screen up, so let's have a gander. Cool.
Yeah, just thinking a little bit. So I've made 2 transfers. I've taken a -4. I couldn't see the Ward-Everson thing working out long term, so I've put Sanchez in. He's got Newcastle at home. I mean, Brighton are pretty solid at home. They didn't concede many, and then they've got a good little run here. So I think it'll do me for these next sort of 6-7 weeks. And then I put Walker in for James, just because James has got Tottenham. Obviously, I've got Kulusevski, so it's a bit of a matchup. And he is a bargain at 5 mil home to Bournemouth. I'm hoping for 2 clean sheets there. But like I said, I couldn't get Haaland in unless I did another -4 for take KDB out. Well, yeah, another -8. So I'll be captaining KDB and just hoping him for the best, really. Give Bailey another chance. If he don't do anything this week, he's out. That's pretty
I think
much it.
those fixtures they're having basically 6 players, 3 from City, 3 from Liverpool, with those fixtures both at home. You've got to fancy that, and I think that's looking at my team. That's a big risk that I have. I have 2 and 2, whereas you have 3 and 3, and they could easily both be, heavy victories, like big home wins. So, and definite chances of clean sheets, I'd say, in both of them as well. It's a prime week for Kev to have
the 5 at the back,
5 at the back, 2 from City, 2 from Liverpool. Should be looking good.
The only other thing to say is that Benteke's gone anti to DC United, so maybe Plonge might get his chance soon.
Yeah, I know. He was on the bench in that first game, so it's not like Palace have a massive squad, but they do have that Mateta who still.
I like him,
yeah. So and also I did notice that Greenwood actually got a decent amount of minutes.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he came on. So it does look like Greenwood's your best shout at 4.5 in attack, to be honest. But I'd say looking at the balance of it, you've got me worried now, Mangs. Your team's looking way stronger than mine.
If Haaland wasn't there, then obviously KDB would be like an automatic pick for captain. I'm a bit worried because it's going to be like one of those, like, he might get some assists, but obviously the person he's going to be assisting is probably going to be Haaland. So
I suppose that's my main hope. That's in terms of me versus you, is that if I do captain Haaland, hopefully he's the one and he'll get.
I think with Haaland being on penalties, that is massive. Like, that was the thing I was unsure about, and now we found out in the very first game he's going to be on. And I seen his interview afterwards. They were like, "Were you always going to take the penalty?" And he was just like, "Yeah," and that was it. So he'll be on pens all season. So I'll see how this week goes, but if it is the Haaland show, then I might have to make some big changes next week.
Yeah. And same with me, that wild card is still an option. I think obviously Liverpool don't have the best of starts, but having 3 and 3 and then building your team around 6 players from those 2 teams, it does sort of make sense, doesn't it?
It might be handy keeping the wild card as well for once the transfer window closes, in case there are some big transfers in the next few weeks.
True. Yeah, that's true. There hasn't really been much, has there? I think.
No.
I saw the Brentford on that Damsgaard, man. He was good in the Euros, wasn't he?
He was quality. The Swiss, was he Swiss or Danish?
Denmark, Danish, yeah. I saw that. Yeah, they got him basically Ericsson 2.0.
Yeah, he was on free kick. He scored that long ranger, didn't he? Was that a free kick?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good signing. Yeah.
Obviously, Fofana could go to Chelsea, in which case, that could be one to look at. But I don't know. Yeah, it might be worth seeing if there's any big moves. But I think with Walker and Diaz being 2 cheap options who are going to play regularly for those 2 teams, and I think with Nunes quite likely to become a serious option as well.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, there's some good ins to those to City and Liverpool this season that could end up being big returns. All right, last sort of 5-10 minutes. Should we just have a quick look at transfers in and out? And price, more importantly, price changes. So obviously Kane gone down, Haaland gone up. Reedy saying Haaland likely to go up by another 0.1. So
so we got Zinchenko's gone up. I wonder if Haaland's hit the million mark. He was on 900,000 odd earlier. Yeah, he's over 1 million now. So
a
million transfers in.
Mitrovic gone up. Darwin. So I think that's one thing that obviously I did get Haaland in before his price rise at least, so I got something there. But apart from that, I don't think I've lost any value or gained any value in my team at the moment.
Dewsbury was up there. And De Silva, so like a lot of people probably wildcarding and putting in their best 4.5 or 5. So I mean Podence, that's just knee jerk, isn't it? He's all right, but 5.5.
Did he score? Did he also?
Yeah, he scored. Yeah.
No, I've seen.
And Gross as well. Obviously scored 2.
I felt a bit bad for Ed in my league, in my work, and he's in our league because in his draft he asked me for advice. He had Ward Prowse, and I was like. Thing is, he had Ward Prowse and he had a 6.5 and a 4.5, and I said you're probably better off getting a 6 and a 5. But obviously Ward Prowse scoring that goal. So
he was in I mean, I'm sure he's in all of our drafts at one point, but it's just he's like the boring option, isn't it? But he's steady, like 150 points guaranteed in a season, and he has got some nice fixtures because he's got you boys who obviously are on corners and stuff. I think he's got Leeds as well, so I think they're two of the worst, and maybe Palace. I think they're the three worst at defending set pieces. So I'm sure he's going to get some decent points the next few weeks.
I'm very surprised that Sessegnon hasn't been brought in by more people, but I suppose they are playing Chelsea away, so I guess that's the only reason.
I guess that's the reason why, yeah.
But a 4.5, man, I'm a bit surprised.
Yeah, we'll look at the transfers out as well. It's just going to be the opposite, isn't it? It's going to be Kane. Well, Perisic. Yeah.
Perisic, no surprise there. I mean, people should have... Yeah, no surprise there at all.
I think with the Son, that must be a lot of people taking Son out for Haaland and then like a switch up in their template. Saka, quite surprised to see him so highly transferred out when we've got good fixtures and
he done. I guess that's probably for Kulusevski though, isn't it? At the same price.
Yeah.
Greenwood, is that transferred out?
Yeah.
Maybe that's because a lot of people are kind of investing a bit more in their forwards. Maybe upgrading.
I think it's just a lot of changes going on with, like you said, because the Mitrovic, they'll be taking out a midfielder, and whereas a lot of people had one or maybe two strikers, they're now going two or three. So yeah, that'll be the reason for that.
I wonder how many wild cards. I'm sure that Fantasy will post.
I think it says on. Does it say on there? I don't know if it'll be up yet.
They seem to be even more on it on Twitter in terms of the stats that they're throwing out and stuff on the official page.
Yeah,
they seem to have stepped up even more this season from what I've seen. I saw that there was like It was like two people had triple captain Pascal Gross.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I've seen a few triple. The leader after the Arsenal game had Zinchenko triple captain.
Really? Yeah. I mean, someone in my work league had triple captain Salah, which, to be fair, didn't work out. It didn't work out badly. As a start.
Yeah, I was thinking about maybe making a team just for like a game that just game weeks only, and just putting in triple captain in like a random at, like, say for example because to be number one in the world for the game week, you're gonna have to have an obscure triple captain choice, like you said, Gross. So this week it could be someone like, I don't know, Kyle Walker or, I don't know, some absolute randomer. But yeah, it doesn't tell me on here how many wild cards. I thought it did, but maybe closer to the game week it'll say.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll post it anyway, and I'm sure that there's been quite a few. I even went, like I say, not taking that -4. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to just give away points this early on, but hopefully I don't regret that. But yeah, and that, like I say, an average start. It's not too bad, but don't want to start falling behind too much.
No.
And hopefully, like players like Bruno Guimaraes and stuff can step up before they start dropping in price. But yeah, and neither of us chose to hop on the price rises. I suppose Kulusevski's gone up for you, right? So you got one there.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. The Haaland one is a bit worrying, but I've got 0.5 in the bank. I mean, I'm not going to need it to get him in anyway. But yeah, realistically, if he scores even one goal against Bournemouth, he's going to go up another 0.2 next week. So it's either just keep leaving him out and hope, or might have to make quite a big change. So
hopefully Leicester can at least score against you boys, because obviously a lot of people, there are loads of Zinchenko's now flying around, a few Gabriels, Saliba.
Yeah.
So and I don't have any, so I'm hoping at the very least that Leicester can get a goal in that game. I wouldn't, I think we definitely can do so. That would be a big help for me straight away. But yeah, and then I think Haaland captain is gonna. I think that's gonna have to happen. It's gonna have to happen. All right, cool. We'll leave it there, I think, for this week. Nice one for everyone tuning in.
Cheers, lads.
At one point, as of strong. Let's keep it going. Strong start, and yeah, good luck in your various head-to-heads and in the fantasy league this week.
Yeah, like the video if you can as well, because it pushes up, and obviously subscribe if you haven't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And it's not too late to join the league if you want to. We'll leave that open for at least a few more weeks. And yeah, Leicester v Arsenal at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Let's go.
I'm going over Bristol to watch it with Sloaner. So
is it? Oh, is it? Oh, nice. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I'll send you a video every time we score.
What's the lunchtime kickoff?
Villa, Everton.
Villa, Everton. Well, if you want to head over a bit earlier and watch that, we could do potentially.
Are you going to be at me?
Yeah. I could come and meet you somewhere and watch that game before you head up to Sloaner.
All right.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, have a good weekend, everyone, and see you in a bit.
Yeah, see you next time.
Nice one.